The biggest scam is about to end and I'm going to tell you what it is and how you can prepare yourself. But guys, first of all, we're going to look at the market situation because yes, we saw this major pump for Bitcoin coming all the way back up to the $30,000 level, but then we saw this massive dump towards the downside. And yes guys, just in, Bitcoin drops over 5% in 1 hour as Arkham Alerts reports transactions are being carried out by both Mt. Gox and the wallets of the United States government. First of all guys, yes, Mt. Gox will dump a lot of Bitcoin in the markets and also the government. But first of all, I think it's good that the United States government are selling their Bitcoin because we don't want them to hold our Bitcoin. And yes guys, even if they're going to dump a certain amount or a big amount of Bitcoin on the markets, a lot of people will buy up all these Bitcoin, including me and you, Michael Saylor, and yes guys, all of the hodlers all around the world. So guys, yes, I don't think that this is going to be a major issue, but first of all guys, let's find out what happened yesterday. So over on crypto Twitter, yes, Miles Deutscher really has a good summary on what happened in the crypto industry. First of all, Bitcoin dumps on the strong earnings and banking contagion fears. Arkham issues alerts indicating US government and Mt. Gox selling. Bitcoin dumps 200 million liquidated in 4 hours. And yes guys, alert turns out to be false. This was all just major FUD in the markets and actually it was just a bug in their system. So let's go back to the charts to find out what is really going to happen in the immediate short term. So over on the 4-hour chart guys, we can see we had this perfect W that we were forming in these areas after we had this dump towards the downside. We perfectly found support at our support box, which we had round about the $27,000 level, where I told you that if we're going to break this level, we could expect a further dump towards the downside. But no, Bitcoin turned around and we saw this massive explosion. And when the price was exactly here, I posted over on my Telegram group that I think that we're going to reach first the 38.2 and then the 61.8. And guys, if you want to be part of my free Telegram group, make sure to go down in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group. And yes, you can see Bitcoin breaking out from a nice W pattern on the 4-hour chart. My next price targets are $28,600 and at the 61.8, the second price target at $29,600. And yes guys, we perfectly hit our price target, and as we can see, the price came all the way up to the $30,000 level, and then we saw this major dump on this major FUD that Mt. Gox and the United States are selling all of their Bitcoin, and a lot of people dumped all of their positions and dumped their Bitcoins on the markets, and that's why we saw this dump towards the downside. But guys, remember, Michael Saylor and all the hodlers around the world are buying all these coins that they are dumping on the markets, and we saw that the price of Bitcoin turned around in these areas, and now we are back above the $29,000 level, and at the moment we can see that the price movement is going sideways. We're having this indecision in the markets. And yes guys, we could expect that we're going to see a major volatility. And why? Yes, the US PCE data is going to be released tomorrow. So guys, yes, you know the deal. If we're going to get a higher than expected reading, we could expect that the markets are going to dump. But guys, if we're going to get the forecast like it's expected and already priced in, or even lower than expected, then we could expect that Bitcoin and the overall market will see a pump towards the upside and that we're going to hold this level. But yes guys, we could expect some major volatility. We could expect that we're going to get a fake out towards the upside, a bad reading and a dump towards the downside, or even vice versa, that we're first going to see a dump and that Bitcoin is going to pump from these regions. And if you want to trade all of these moves, guys, make sure to follow the link in the video description below and sign up with BITGET, where you receive a massive deposit bonus. But first of all guys, let's go on the daily chart for Bitcoin. So guys, yes, over on the daily chart once again, we can see that Bitcoin perfectly hold the support, and at the moment we could see that Bitcoin pumped all the way back up, back above this major important trend line that we broke exactly in these areas. So guys, yes, first of all, it is very important for Bitcoin that we're going to stay above this trend line and that the price of Bitcoin is going to hold this as support, and that we're going to see the next move from these regions. Because yes, if we're going to see that Bitcoin will see a retracement from these levels and that this is going to act as resistance, we could expect that yes, Bitcoin is going to come all the way back down until we're going to see in which direction we are going to go. But guys, yes, it is very important that we're going to stay above this trend line for the price of Bitcoin, that we could expect that Bitcoin will come all the way back up into this major resistance area round about the 31,000 US dollars, where Bitcoin turned around in these regions. So we could expect that Bitcoin could break these areas, and we have a price target of round about 32,000 US dollars, the top of this range, and also this major resistance and this trend line that really comes from way back when. But guys, let's go on the lower time frames to trade the next move for Bitcoin. But guys, if you want to find out which major scam is going to end, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe. And now let's go on the 15-minute chart. So on the 15-minute chart, guys, we can see that Bitcoin turned around exactly in these areas. Here I posted in my Telegram group that we're going to see this massive breakout, and from this entry we saw this massive pump towards the upside. So then we could see that yes, we had this FUD and this major dump for Bitcoin coming all the way back down to the start of this major pump round about the levels of 27,000 US dollars, and then we saw that Bitcoin directly turned around, and now we saw this push all the way back up. But guys, yes, we are forming lower highs for Bitcoin, and that is not all too bullish, guys. We really have to hold this level and see a breakout from this downward sloping trend so that we could expect that yes, Bitcoin is going to come all the way back up to this major resistance area where we also had this major correction round about the 29,900 US dollars all the way up to the 30,000 US dollar level. So guys, yes, first of all, it is very important that Bitcoin will hold this support and this very important trend line, which is round about exactly at the levels of 28,790. We could see that Bitcoin will consolidate and see a breakout within the next few hours. But guys, maybe we're going to see the breakout tomorrow after the PCE data. But yes, we can see that Bitcoin is holding this level at the moment. So I'm going to post in my Telegram group the next trade if we're going to break this trend line, and I'm going to tell you exactly where you should take profit. And guys, if you want to trade these moves, make sure to go down in the video description below and sign up with BITGET. And guys, now we're going to come to the most important part. What is the biggest scam in the world? Yes guys, banks. And we are seeing that the First Republic Bank trading halted, down 93% this year. And guys, yes, I just want to make clear to you, the banks are going to fail, and the US dollar and the currency as we know it. So that's why it's really important that you hold Bitcoin and that you're going to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. And guys, if you want to stay up to date, make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe and activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. And make sure to be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.